Hey guys, how are you doing today? So we are on chapter 9, mise-en-place. So we're gonna get started, and mise-en-place means everything in its place, okay? So what that means for a chef is this, is that if you go into a kitchen, if a good chef has everything in its place. Every place has the thing. You have the process, you do it the way you want to, you make your life easy. It's all about the process, and it's all about things being exactly where they should be. So you're gonna have a spice rack, and it's gonna always stay there, and the cinnamon is always gonna go in the same place every time. The cutting boards are gonna be stored in a set place in the kitchen, and it's always going to be there every time. So, you know how you have these little things in your house where, that in this drawer, you always have this there. That's everything in its place. That's your mise-en-place. So the other thing with mise-en-place is it's going to help with the organization, okay? It's helping with organizing your process. It's helping with organizing the plan, okay? So it's making a plan. The one thing that I will tell you is every time I go into a kitchen, I have a plan. If I don't have a plan, it takes me twice as long to get anything done as if I do have a plan. And the plan is, and usually the plan is done before you ever walk into a kitchen, okay? And that's where I start my mise-en-place. Let's say I'm creating a menu, I'm gonna feed 100 people, and it's gonna be a seared airline chicken breast, with a rosemary demi-glace and a twice-baked potato and sauteed haricot vert. All right, so I got to think about, what do I need? Okay, what are the things that I need to do in order to get? What am I going to do first? What am I going to do second? So if I'm going to, the first thing I'm going to do when I walk into the kitchen is I'm going to turn on the oven. Right? The second thing, I'm going to go get me a pot and fill it up with water and put it on the stove so I can blanch and shock my haricot vert. So blanching is you bring the water to a boil, you put your beans in, you let it cook for about a minute or so, your par cooking, and then you shock it in ice water, okay? So while I'm setting my stuff up, I'm turning on the oven, I'm getting the water on the stove, so that now I've got things working while I'm doing other things, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to get to a place that once you get to one thing, you get done with it, you're ready for the next step. It's not, I got to put my water on. I'm ready to par cook my beans, but I didn't get the water ready. Okay, so it's getting to that place where everything's in its place. You're organized and you're working in that process of everything's smooth, and you get to one, okay, I'm ready for the next step. I'm ready for the next step. So it's always, mise-en-place kind of gets instilled in you, but it's having that prep list. It's having that game plan of what are you going to do first? What are you going to do second? What are you going to do third? And it's making sure that you're ready. And it's making sure that when you get there, that stuff is ready to go, because you don't want to have that stop. Let's say I'm going to, thinking Thanksgiving, we're going to cook our turkey, right? You're getting everything done, and then all of a sudden, you're ready to put the turkey in the oven, and it's, I didn't turn the oven on. So it's having the oven already preheated before you get there, right? So it's nonstop. It's working that plan. And that plan is working you. I will tell you this: if you don't work a plan, it will work you. It will stop you in your tracks, and it will put 30 minutes to an hour on your time. Okay, so that's why mise-en-place is everything. Mise-en-place also means gathering. So it's gathering your tools, it's gathering your equipment, it's gathering your spices, your ingredients, and all of those things, and having them right there in front of you, so that you can start to mise. Have you ever baked a cake and you have your flour and you measure it out? You have your sugar, you measure it out. You got your 3 eggs, you got your vanilla, you got your salt. As you have those things, you have it all ready, and then you have your mixing bowl and you just start putting it in, right? It would be like mixing it, but then I need my flour. Oh, I got to stop what I'm doing. I got to walk away from my station, and I got to go get it. Okay, so that's not mise en place. Mise en place is having it right there. So gathering your ingredients, having it together, and then assembling your tools and equipment. So I always know, what do I need before I even walk into a kitchen? I'm going to need, if I'm going to debone chicken, I'm going to need my boning knife. I always have my chef knife. That's a given. But am I going to use my paring knife? Do I need my slicer? Do I need my tongs? Do I need my ladle? Do I need my whisk? It's those things. What do I need? Do I need a bowl? Do I need hotel pans? So it's knowing what you need when you get there, and gathering. Mise en place is getting it together and getting ready, and so then your process is easier. Okay, but mise en place, you're going to hear it from here on out. So mise en place, mise en place, mise en place. Get it in your head. And it's not me, it's mise en place. You got to say it right. Okay, it's not mise en place. Nope. That sounds stupid. Mise en place. Place. Like you're going to the plaza. We're going to the plaza. We're mise en place. Right? Mise en place. Try it. Mise en place. I love it. All right, so a prep list is a blueprint for how your food production is going to be. Okay, so it's knowing what you need to do. When I worked in hotels, I would have my banquet cooks. I would literally have a list of what they needed to prep for that day and to get done. If we had an event for 1,000 people, the day before is when I'm searing my fillets. I'm getting them grill marked, putting them on a sheet tray, going onto the speed rack, so that tomorrow when I have my party, I fire them. It's all ready. I don't have to have anything done. So it's having your work day and getting things in its place, but it's having that prep list of what do I need to get done. Have you ever, been cooking a lot and then you're like, oh, I forgot to do that? Well, if you take 5 to 10 minutes before you walk into the kitchen and before you get started to kind of map out your plan, it works out great. You'll never go wrong, okay? Where a lot of new cooks get screwed up is they don't want to write anything down. Being a chef, I'm constantly writing things down. I write prep lists all the time. I'm always constantly calculating. I'm calculating, how much do I need? What am I going to do? Those are all the things of what you got to do. So prep lists are very, very important. It's your battle plan. Some chefs call them the battle plan. So because when you go in the kitchen, it's a battle. You got all these things to do. When you are catering or you're putting out an event, here's the thing. If my menu, I'm not going to forget the airline chicken breast. I'm not going to forget the twice baked potato. I'm not going to forget the haricot vert. I'm going to forget the garnish. I'm going to forget the little things. It's the little things that bite you in the ass. And that's why having a prep list and you're thinking about it ahead of the time of how do I want my plate to look? What do I need? What are the tools that I need? So that now you have it written down and you walk in there and you're in the middle of a fire, because you're in the middle of a fire. Gotta go. Da, 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 da. Oh my God, we got 5 minutes. We got to get it done. Da, da, da. And then all of a sudden it's over and you're like, I forgot that. Okay, so the prep list and the list, it makes you not forget. All right, everybody's like, oh, I don't forget nothing. Yeah, you do. You will. Trust me. You will. You don't remember everything, especially when you're in the middle of the game. All right. An overview of what needs to be done and how long it will take to do. How long it will take. You got to know how long things are going to take. You also got to, and that comes with experience. All my students, they're always like, well, chef, when do you know it's done? Well, when it says 165 degrees. If I'm cooking chicken, it's done when it says 165 degrees on my thermometer. Now, I say that because if I give you a time, so if I go, okay, we have let's say we have an 8-ounce airline chicken breast, okay? Airline chicken breast has the wing, it's with the wing bone, it's a French bone, and it has the skin on it, all right? And it's beautiful. It's a high-end piece of chicken. And, if I tell you here at school, if you cook it in my convection oven, it's going to take 10 minutes, right? I'm gonna sear it, and then I'll put it on a sheet tray, and I'll put it in the oven for 10 minutes, and a 90% chance it's gonna be done, okay? But if you go home and you cook it in your oven at home and it's not a convection oven, it's gonna take 20 minutes. So that's why I never tell people time, because you don't know what tools you're using. And tools and equipment, if my equipment is not the same every time. In hotels, I always knew exactly how long it was gonna take. If I'm gonna cook a whole turkey, I knew how long it was gonna take in my convection oven, because I knew how it cooked. I had that experience. Okay, so experience is everything, and that's what you guys are getting. The more you cook, the more you experience, the more mistakes you make, the better you are. I learn from mistakes. I don't learn from me making it perfect. I learn from the mistakes, because you're going to burn stuff. You're going to forget things. You're going to overcook things, and it's going to be dry. And you know what? That's your experience. And you learn from that, I promise. Make mistakes. Don't be scared to make mistakes. That's the one thing I tell people. Don't be scared to make mistakes, because you're going to make them. The people who go, oh, I don't, whatever, they do. Just know everybody does, okay? And I still do 25 years later. I still make mistakes 25, 30 years later, okay? How each cook may interact with each other in the kitchen. And you know what? That's a prep list. Sometimes I have cooks that, they're a little slower. So I got to know that if I give them this task, it's going to take them longer. Here's the thing I'll tell you. Be an instructor. The thing I've learned is if it takes me 30 minutes, it takes my students an hour. It just does. If you have not been in a kitchen and you're new at this, it takes you twice the time, if not 3 times, to make it. Okay? Things that I can get done very quickly, all of a sudden it takes somebody else 45 minutes and it took me 10. And it's because I'm fast. I'm doing things and I'm moving and I'm doing twice the time. So mise-en-place is everything. And you know what? Your timing, your speed, it comes in time. I promise you it does. And the more that you push yourself, the better off you are. A prep list is not just a rewriting of recipes. It's composing a map of what you're going to do that day. It's a map of each step of where do I need to go and what's next, so that I know that I'm on track. I know that I'm not going to miss something, that I don't forget something. Oh, you didn't boil the potatoes. You didn't bake the potatoes. You know what I mean? It's getting that stuff done. The first step in organizing your work is to read and understand the recipe. And sometimes, especially if I've never made something before, I got to read it. I'm slower. Great example, I've been telling you guys I did this sourdough starter, right? I did it 5 weeks ago, and I've been making cinnamon rolls and all of that. But the thing that I tell you is I've made cinnamon rolls 3 times, and it was with other chefs, and they were guiding me. So, me doing it at home, it took me a little longer. Now, did I know what I was looking for? Yeah, but it took me when I'm not really comfortable with something, it takes me a little longer. And that's okay. I give myself that time. And that's for you. You know what, guys? It's giving yourself that time. Okay? But it's knowing what you need to do and when you need to do it. The first step in organizing your work is to read and understand the recipes. So it's understanding them, what you need to do, how you're going to get there. It's the same thing. If you're say you're planning a trip to go to, let's say we're going to New York. Okay? And you're going to drive. And you're planning a trip to go to New York. It's going to be a 12-hour drive. Okay? 12-hour day. Sounds like my day in the kitchen, right? So it's planning my day. It's planning my drive. Okay, I'm going to drive here and I'm going to stop here. Here's a good place to stop and fill up the gas and get something to eat. And, I'm not going to just all of a sudden just kind of whim it, right? And just kind of whatever, we'll do whatever. That's not how you do it in a kitchen. So it's planning your day and working your plan, okay? Once each item is identified and quantified, the next step is to schedule your tasks through the prioritizing. And you got to prioritize. What do I need to get done first? What is it? Do I need to, let's say I've got, I'm making creme brulee. Creme brulee is a baked custard. Can I do it the day of the event? No, because I got to do it the day before so that I can make it, and then I got to bake it, and then it's got to cool. It's got to set up. You know, it's kind of like making any kind of pastry, cheesecake. You're not going to eat it an hour after you cooked it. It's got to set up in the cooler. It's got to get cold so you can cut it and it works, right? It's the same thing. So it's kind of prioritizing what is it that you need to do. What's first? What's second? What's third? All right. So here's a sample prep list. Cook and chill eggs for curried egg salad. So yeah, if you're going to make an egg salad, guess what? I need to do the eggs first because I gotta cook them, and then I gotta let them chill, and then I gotta peel them, and I gotta cut them, you know, all of those things. So it's kind of understanding that. So look at that prep list and kind of see, you know, what the steps of what you need to do. Quantity planning is determining what and how much to prepare, critical for to be efficient for your job. So if that's having a par, all right. So I'm going to touch on it, but it's really understanding. You're going to get this more when you're on campus and when you're in purchasing and cost control. But we're already starting to do these things. So whenever I was in the kitchen, I always was calculating how much do I need. Okay. So let's say you're cooking. You know, when I look at you and go, hey, go cook for 10 people. Let's make mashed potatoes for 10 people. You know, you'll sit there and you know what, you'll get a bag and you'll make them all and it will be fine, right? You're not too worried about it. But what if I tell you, hey, we're going to do a plated dinner for 1,000 people, and you need to have mashed potatoes, and you need to make sure that you don't get to 980 and you run out of mashed potatoes. You can't have that. You know, so it's understanding and learning, how do you calculate this? How do you get this where it's calculated and you know? So here's just simple. So what do I do? So if I'm doing 1,000 people, I go 1,000, okay? And I want to know how much is my portion size going to be. So we'll say we're going to give them 3.5 ounces, so 1,000, okay, times 3.5 equals 3,500 ounces. So that doesn't make any sense to you at all. Doesn't ever make any sense to me. 3,500 ounces. Nope, doesn't make any sense. Okay? But I'm going to divide by 16, because 16 ounces in a pound. So 16, chef's calling me. Decline. All right, divided by 16 equals 218.75 pounds. So I need 220 pounds. 220 pounds of potatoes is what I need to make mashed potatoes for 1,000 people. Okay? So let's say I didn't even do a calculation, and all of a sudden I just go, oh, I'm going to get 150 pounds. No, I need 220 pounds. So that's what you need to understand, is you got to make sure that you have your pars, you have everything in place, that you know how much do you need. Okay, so that's when I'm doing my prep list and stuff. Guess what? I'm calculating how much do I need. If I'm having 1,000 people, 1,000 people, and I'm doing a plated, and I told you we're doing a rosemary demi-glace, right? So usually I do about 1.5 ounces per plate for sauce times 1.5. So that gives me 1,500, okay? 1,500 ounces. Doesn't make any sense to me, all right? But I want to know how many gallons that I need to make. So I'm going to divide that by 128, because there's 128 ounces in a gallon. So now I need to make 12 gallons. So it says 11.7, okay? 11.7 gallons is going to make 12 gallons. So I got to make 12 gallons of sauce to make sure that I have enough. So you see, calculating does everything. So it's knowing how many people, how much am I going to serve people, and then calculating it. All right? And that is why when I start talking about measurements, that you guys got to start learning this stuff. You got to learn that 8 ounces are in a cup. You got to learn that 32 ounces is a gallon, 32 ounces is a quart, and that 4 quarts is in a gallon. 16 ounces is a pint, and 2 pints is in a quart. And if there's 4 quarts in a gallon, there's 2 pints in a quart, so there's 8 pints in a gallon. So it's kind of knowing the breakdowns and knowing what does it look like. All right. And you'll learn that, but you have to learn it. You have to make yourself sit down and start going, okay, what does this mean? 16 ounces in a pound, it doesn't change. So you got to know what a pound is, okay? So it's understanding that. Selecting tools and equipment. All your tools and work surfaces and all of that, you need to make sure that they're ready to go. That, let's say if I'm going to make a stock, I need to make sure that my steam jacketed kettle is not being used for something else. It might be, maybe I'm cooking 150 pounds of collard greens. I don't know. But you want to make sure that you have things that you're ready to go, okay? Knives should be honed and sharpened. Measuring devices should be accurate. Let's say I need a digital scale, I'm going to get it. Ovens and cooking surfaces should be preheated. And again, anytime I walk into the kitchen and I know I'm going to do something, I turn on my oven. First thing I do, turn on my oven. All right. Second thing I do is I get my sanitizer buckets and I get my station set up. I get my cutting board, I put my knives down, I get anything, all my utensils that I'm going to need. Let's say I'm going to use a mixer, I pull up the mixer. So it's kind of knowing exactly what you're going to need. If you're going to be, as you start in your process, it's knowing when do I need to gather certain things. If I know that I'm going to do a plated dinner for 1,000 people, I'm not going to start gathering plates at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to start gathering plates, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to make sure that I have them in place. Maybe at 12 I'm gathering them and have them go through to the steward, to the dishwasher, to make sure that they wash them and they're all good. Okay? Or we start counting, and I'm going to sit there, I'm going to count 1,000 plates. You got that. I'm going to count 1,000 plates. Why? It's a counting game. It's a counting game. So it's a weighing game. You got to know that you've calculated properly, but you also know that you counted properly. If I'm going to put 5 pieces of asparagus on a plate for 1,000 people, I need 5,000 pieces. I need to make sure I got 5,000 pieces. Because if you run out at 990, I can't grow asparagus. I can't pull it out of my pocket right now, right? So it's making sure that you have these things in place. Measure ingredients, a number of steps so you can measure. I kind of talked about that. And you'll see, we have 5-gallon Lexans. We have 40-gallon Lexans. I got little measuring cups for the little things. But I have, quart containers. I have gallon containers that, when I'm making I'm doing a big event, I'm catering and I'm doing large amounts, guess I have those, I have those tools. Think about, so when you start looking at measuring, think about go get a gallon of milk, okay? It's a gallon. And you know what? If you break that up, there's 4 quarts in there. And if you break a quart up, there's 4 cups in a quart. There's 2 pints in a quart. How many cups are in a pint? 2. So it's knowing those things, okay? You got it. You just got to know. Measuring is everything. So why do we want to measure? So if I'm a restaurant, okay, and I have a Alfredo sauce that everybody loves. It's on my menu. I got a chicken Alfredo, and everybody loves it. You want to make sure that Alfredo sauce tastes the same every time somebody comes in. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and you go, and you order this dish and it was so good. Oh, it was just the best. And then you come back 2 weeks later and you're like, I want that same thing. That's what I'm going to get. Oh, I'm so excited. And you get it and you're like, that doesn't taste the same. It's not as good. What happened? They don't have a standardized recipe. They don't have a recipe that everybody is using. Somebody is making it one way and that person won there to make it this way. And that's what happens. So measuring is everything. Having the right measurements, here's the thing I'm going to tell you. Here's my secret. And my secret is this. Baking and pastry, it's a formula. You got to weigh and measure everything to the precision. Precision you have to be, okay? Because if you don't, it's not going to come out right. Now, my secret is this. I can make anything as long as I know what it's supposed to taste like at the end. Do I necessarily need a recipe? No. You know, if I'm going to make gumbo, you know what? I've made gumbo, I can't tell you how many times, getting that roux, that brown roux, you know, almost a black roux, you know, sitting there cooking it for hours and hours, you know. I know what gumbo is supposed to taste like. Am I going to go look at the recipe? Yeah, I'm going to go look at the recipe. Why? Because I always forget things. I forgot that. Oh, yeah, I need that, you know. Got to have that gumbo filet. But am I worried about the measurement exactly? Not necessarily, because I know in my head. But if I calculate, you know, when I start calculating recipes, and if you're making it for 1,000 people, yeah, I'm going to measure. I'm going to calculate. I got to make sure I've got 20 pounds of this in there. But if I'm making it at home, I know what it's supposed to be, and I just boom, 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 done. Okay? There's 2 things I can't fix. 2 things can't fix. I can play and fix and I can add a little here and add a little there and taste. Oh, too spicy. I got to add more little liquid and make it spread out because it's too spicy. Okay? I can't fix 2 things. Burnt. If it's burnt, it's burnt. If it tastes burnt, burnt. Throw it away. Done. Okay? And I can't fix dry. Dry chicken is dry chicken. Okay? Burnt chicken is burnt chicken. Can't fix it. Can't do nothing to it. You know, if I burn my tomato sauce, can't fix it. It has that burnt flavor to it. Done. Okay? You can't fix those things. But if I'm making gumbo and I add too much spice to it, I can fix it. I just need to add more liquid. I just spread it out, right? So it's kind of knowing, and that comes with experience, guys. It comes with experience, all right? Digital scales are great. Today you see more digital scales in kitchens than what you did before, and that gives you the precision. You know, you can do ounces, grams, kilograms, and that really, really gives you great precision. And you know what, you just sit there and measure it, and we have them here for you guys to use. Preparing ingredients, you know, if you're going to clarify butter, clarifying butter is taking a pound of butter, put it on the stove, let it cook, and what happens is you're cooking out the milk solids. So the milk solids fall to the bottom, okay, and the water evaporates, and now I just have the fat, and it's called clarified butter, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Do people burn it? Oh yeah. I've seen more burnt clarified butter than I know what to do with. But that's what clarified butter is. It gives you a higher smoke point. So have you ever cooked eggs with whole butter? So you throw butter in the pan, you cook an egg, and you see those little brown speckles, right? And those little brown speckles, that's the milk solids, okay? So what you're doing is you're taking that out for the clarified butter, and it gives you a higher smoke point that you can saute at a higher temperature. Toasting nuts, if you got to toast your pecans or getting your breadcrumbs ready. Like if I'm going to do a pecan crusted chicken, I'm going to do pecans and panko breadcrumb, and I grind them up in the Roboku. Marinating your meats, you know, if I'm going to marinate my meat overnight if I need to. Great example I made for St. Patty's Day. We made here, I brined 60 pounds of brisket to make homemade corned beef, you know. So you can't brine it in one day. It takes 10 days to brine. So, you know, I started 11 days before getting this all set up. Steeping dry ingredients, you know, getting that done. Clarified butter, toast, talked about that. Flavoring. So you have a bouquet garni. You'll learn more about this when we get to stocks and sauces. A bouquet garni is like a sachet. You'll use that in sauces and stocks. And it has your specific herbs and spices. So a bouquet garni is with leek, and you have your thyme, your parsley stems, your black peppercorn, and your bay leaf, and you know. So it's great for aromatics, especially in a sauce or a stock. So you'll like that. Brines are salty marinades. Brining is, you know, curing, if I'm going to cure something. So corned beef, again, I made a brine. So it's salt and sugar and herbs and water, okay? If you've ever brined your turkey for Thanksgiving, whoo, it's good. It makes it really, really moist. You know, if you're going to steep or hydrate some fruits or vegetables, you can do that. Rubbing, let's say I'm going to make a barbecue, I'm going to make a pork butt, I'm going to rub it, and I'm going to let it do a dry rub. You know, so it's just kind of knowing, it's getting these things done. So I don't know why bouquet garnet is on here, but okay. Bouquet garnet, again, it's, as I said, it's your standard parsley stem, and you can use either leeks or celery, and you just tie it together and you throw it into a sauce. And we'll do that when you're in stocks and sauces. A sachet, it's the same thing. The only difference is you're using cheesecloth. So a sachet, basic ingredients, you're going to need to know it, is parsley. So you're using parsley stems, thyme. It can be dried or fresh. So you need thyme sprigs, black peppercorns, whole black peppercorns, bay leaf, and yep, that's it. Now, some chefs will put cloves, like classically, it says to put cloves in it. But if you put too many in it, ruins it. So most chefs, we don't put cloves in it anymore. Now, if I'm making a specific stock or something, I might put some cloves in it, or I might put some rosemary in it. So it kind of can change up, but your basic sachet is exactly that without the cloves and the garlic. Okay. Brining, again, is for your meats, ham, bacon. When you guys get into garmager, we're going to make homemade ham. I mean, not homemade ham. We're going to make bacon. Bacon. We do a maple bacon. Oh, it turns out so good. So good. But we got to brine it for 10 days. So we get the pork belly, and we brine it, and you brine it with, I use molasses and brown sugar and salt, and it's so good. It really does turn out good. The students love it. So you guys will do that when you get into garmager. All right, preparing to cook. Let's say I'm going to batter it, something I'm going to bread. Again, if I want to do a pecan crusted chicken, I'm going to have my breading station. So always remember dry, wet, dry. That's how I do it. Flour, egg wash, breadcrumb. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is. And I set it up. Flour, egg wash, breadcrumb. So I put in the flour. Always season your flour. That's the trick. Season your chicken. Season your flour. Taste your flour. Nobody ever does. Telling you. That's what makes, if you've ever had like fried chicken or like a chicken finger and it's bland, they didn't season the flour. You got to get it. You got another barrier, which is that breading. Okay, so you got to kind of overly season it, if you will. Flour, and you do a little shake. Go into the egg wash, which is your egg and your water, and then go into the breadcrumb, and then you fry it. And then it's good. Yummy. I'm getting hungry now. Aren't you? You getting hungry? Yeah, I'm getting hungry. All right, battering procedure, same thing. And usually you're just going. One thing I'll tell you, you know what? Can I bread ahead of time? Yes. Just don't stack it on top of each other. The moisture will start to stick your breadcrumb. So know that. Blanching and shocking. Blanching is parboiling. So you're going to boil your water. Usually I season my water with a little bit of salt, especially if I'm going to blanch asparagus or anything like that. Secret to good asparagus, grilled asparagus, anything like that, is blanching and shocking. You're par cooking it, and then you put it on the grill to finish it. If you do it raw, it gets all gross and rubbery, and it's burnt because it's still chewy. Don't like it. Blanch and shock. That's your secret. All right, and then shocking is your ice water. So you have your ice and your water, you have it boiling, you par cook it, and then it goes right into the ice to shock the water. The ice water bath is what we call it, and it shocks it. Shocking is stopping. It stops that cooking process immediately. So it doesn't cook anymore. It's like making pasta. If I'm doing pasta and I let it set there, it keeps on cooking, right? Because it has that heat in it. If I shock it, it stops the cooking process. So I can use it later. I can, I can put it in a Ziploc bag, and 2 days later I can pull it out and heat it up, and boom, I'm ready to go. I got fresh pasta. That's already cooked, that I don't have to really do anything, but it's par cooked, so I don't have to, it's not overcooked, you know what I mean? But if I let it sit there and just cool on its own, it's going to get overcooked. So always know that. All right, so that's mise en place. I hope that helped. Talk to you later. Bye.